It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talk Flicks podcast. I'm your host, Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. And ladies and gentlemen, this past week, I was in the world of the Wilderness of Mirrors. Cloak and Dagger. Hitting gongs, maybe? Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. I don't know, but I'm getting to that. But first, a couple things. I want to give a big shout out to Utah. Got some plays from Utah this past week. Gracias, gratitude, Torba, and Utah. I heard that last year, you have a restaurant in your state called Cosmica that was on the best restaurants list from New York Times like last year. Heard it's pretty good. Heard you had good food. So maybe when I'm in Utah, I'm about to stop through there and have some food. We'll see what happens. And additionally, this episode is brought to you by my album, by me, Chick Cortez, called From Level 50 with Love. It's an experimental, avant-garde, hip-hop rap album with me rapping over electronic synth beats in my unique rap style. I guarantee you've never heard anything like it in your life. So if you want to hear the album called From Level 50 with Love, I'll put it below. Check it out. Now, let's get on with the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this past week, there were gongs. There was Wilderness of Mirrors. There was Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. This past week, for the first time, I saw the movie called Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. So it was a dangerous mind and he confessed. So anyways, this movie's from 2002. It's about the life of a game show host, songwriter, CIA spy, possibly, or assassin, Chuck Barris. Yeah, so the movie talks about him. It's based on this book he wrote, where this gentleman, Chuck Barris, not only was he a TV producer, songwriter, and gong show host, and creator of the Newlywed Game and the dating game, he also was, according to this book and movie, possibly a CIA assassin. Now, I've never ever seen this movie. I've been aware of it, even way back in the day when I was in my 20s. Saw the cover, know the actors in it, but never really watched it. And so I had some extra time this past week, because I told you guys that it was such a nice day that I took the day off. Right, so in my downtime, I went ahead and watched this film. And it was a really well done film. It was a unique take on the spy genre. Now, in this particular movie, it posits, or it says, or its thesis is that basically Chuck Barris, in his own words, when he wasn't busy doing Hollywood stuff, he was a CIA assassin. So it raised that question. Now, I did a little bit of research before, like a half-hour research. I watched The Gong Show, watched some interviews with Chuck Barris, watched some interviews with actors with Chuck Barris, just kind of get a feel for, is this possible, is that possible? Now, real quick, before I get into that, when I was younger, I remember The Gong Show being on TV. I didn't really understand it, but the visuals of the background with the gong and the look, I remember that very vividly. And I just remember being crazy and zany, and I just rewatched it like this week. Yeah, it was like absolute madness. Now, I've been saying absolute madness for a long time on this podcast. This show is the epitome of absolute madness. This is probably a show I might do. Now, at the time, they were saying that this show was like going to be the downfall of society, right? Because they got, these people out here doing, quotation mark, bad acts. And they kind of said that maybe they were making fun of these bad acts. Now, I'm going to go ahead and flip that real quick about the Gong Show. Honestly, when I thought about it, he was kind of doing them a service. He was letting people that might necessarily get that chance be in the spotlight. That moment of time where all the attention's on them. And they might not be used to it, but that moment was given to them by that show. So I'm going to say, yeah, maybe they were a little brutal, the comments, but it's like nothing you don't see like on American Idol or these other shows that are like that where the judges talk bad about the acts. Same concept. He was maybe kind of the innovator of that. So, as far as the Gong Show is concerned, not that bad to me. But I don't know, maybe it is. Who knows? It's not my place to say that. But anyways, back to the actual movie, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. So, it does show, what happens in his life as far as the women he dates and goes on the show. But what I want to do is address the elephant in the room. Was he a CIA assassin or not? Now, I have gone down the rabbit hole. Espionage, counterintelligence, military intelligence, all these different subjects and ideas, war, strategy for years. I've read tons of books about it, heard a lot of thought leaders about it from the past and current, over time, just to get an idea of how this might work or how the world is. And one thing is for sure is that as much as you read about it and study it, there is no one playbook for this. In the stories that I've heard in the espionage world, sometimes the most craziest things are real. Believe it or not. Some of the most craziest things that you find unbelievable are true. Now, as I live my lifestyle and look at my life, now I am no CIA assassin or anything like this, but my life in general, when I look at the tapestry of just my life as a regular Joe, it's absolutely unbelievable. A lot of the connections and the way I move is just like, oh my gosh, it's like, what's going on here? It's just me. I'm just a regular dude. So is it possible that this dude could have been that? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe there's a file somewhere classified that says this and just can't release it because of the things he did. Possible. Now, as someone that's going down the rabbit hole of these things, there's certain things they can talk about, there's certain things they can't. Maybe there's one thing they can't talk about. That's a possibility. But also on the other end of it, it's so BS. Now, from seeing this dude, the interviews, hearing the stories, and overall vibe of this human being, he could just be the ultimate prankster and just joking to the end. As I navigate my life, I am kind of a jokester myself, and I do kind of just joke around a lot and say things and ideas that are weird and strange, but I can see someone doing that. So is he just the ultimate jokester? Possible. But I'll say a couple of things though. He was missing for blocks of time where no one knew where he's at. What is he doing in this time period when he's gone? He's doing something, obviously, but no one knew where he was at. This would kind of line up with maybe, he was out doing CIA crap. And then one additional thing too, it's not unprecedented for the organizations to use famous people or high profile people in their activities. There's countless examples throughout history going back a couple hundred years, where they use very high profile people to do this very thing. The famous dancer, I can't remember her name right now, and then I can't remember the exact details, but she was doing her thing and she was high profile. So is it possible that he was high profile and did that? Very, very possible. Now, the other people that did this that are high profile, they never came out and just flat out said it. It wasn't until after they were gone it was revealed. Now, why this guy would just go out there and say right now, I have no idea. If it was true, I don't know. But I like to think about this. In general, when you're trying to figure out if something is facts or not, what you should start with, in my opinion, is try to shut it down and say why it's not facts. Don't try to prove it, try to disprove it. I think the best way to start anything you're trying to figure out if it's true or not is to try your best to disprove it through thinking, logic, research, and try to debunk it. And even if you really believe it hardcore, go at it, debunk it. Give me everything you got why it could not be true. If you really believe something to be true, you have to leave it open to scrutiny, like straight up, because it has to be able to withstand that. So you have to start there, in my opinion. So if you think that Chuck Barris was this, okay, fine. We'll try to disprove it first. And if you can't, then maybe some truth there. I don't know enough about this particular thing to know. And you know what additional thing too? As much as I've listened to podcasts, read books, and studied this whole field, I've really not heard that much about this at all. And I'm very surprised that in my listening journey of this, that I have not encountered that much. I've encountered a lot of various stories about, that world. Not so much on this. Now, I'm sure they're out there, I just might not have heard them. But it is strange, for as much as I dive into this, I've not heard that much about it. But I do find it interesting that he would say that and write a book about it. And I guess there's a follow-up book that he wrote that kind of is a continuation of that journey, if he was in that world. Now, in my general studies of this, you don't go around telling people that. It's just kind of the way they roll. But this gentleman is not like your typical dude. Just the limited things I've seen this dude and what I've read, it does seem to be a certain kind of individual that's just very, unfigureoutable, unpredictable, right? Kind of reminds himself slightly. But anyways, the movie itself, great movie. If you just watch it for the movie itself, the entertainment of it, Julia Roberts is in it, George Clooney's in it, some other actors you've seen, I thought it was really well done. It was engaged the whole time. Sometimes the older stuff is paced well, but it's a great movie. And a great spy movie at that. Either way, if it's true, phenomenal story. Even if it's not true, phenomenal story. I think you should just watch it just for the entertainment factor of it. But also, too, think, could this dude really have worked for the CIA? Maybe, maybe not. And then maybe 100 years from now, I'll be dead most likely. But if you're still around, you can maybe someone release some documentation that either disproves or proves it. I don't know. maybe the agency will come out and finally, release something about it. I read that the official word from the CIA was that it was just not true. And they are they're the definitive body that would know that. But also too, and these organizations are also known to not really claim things if it's, going to put the nation in jeopardy. So that might be a thing there too. But anyways, regardless of all that, the show's cool. And you should watch a Gong Show. It's a time capsule. It's a product that's of the 70s. It's entertaining. It's interesting. You get to see what it was like back in the day. I was a young guy then, cell phones, small square TV with antenna on it. I was in that a little bit. So anyways, go hear the confessions of a dangerous mind, because apparently his mind is very dangerous. Yeah, great movie. Check it out. And this concludes the podcast. And until next time, we'll see you. Live long and prosper, Spock. Until next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks.